To be a conservationist, you have to be conservative of the environment. And since humans, we live in the human environment, we need to conserve our environment as well as the animals' environment. It is very interesting to me to know that populations of most animals, not all animals, but most animals are actually up in the state of Florida, which is pretty good. Thanks to developmental housing, we actually have more coyotes now, we have more alligators, we have more birds, there's more insects, more spiders. It's very wonderful. There's a lot more wildlife than we've had in a while. Now, there are some species that have gone down a little bit, but are making a recovery. The Florida panther, which is pretty much almost like an African lion, but smaller, but lives here in the state of Florida, that animal is actually recovering now. So that's actually pretty good. Black bear populations are one of those ones that seem like it's kind of like on a decline, and then it goes up, and then it goes down again. Black bear populations seem to be very volatile. Some years it's like really high, sometimes it's really low. So that's something we should definitely monitor. But for the most part, we're cleaning up these swamps, and now there's more animals because most of these animals can't live healthy lives in the swamps, and we're cleaning them up, and that's actually pretty positive. There's more frogs, there's more newts, there's more salamanders, there's more lizards, there's more turtles. It's very exciting. But there's something that's still going wrong. Trash. It is disgusting and disrespectful to the environment to litter all over the place. And even though you don't see it as much in suburbs, big cities like West Palm Beach and Miami, they look like dumps. The majority of their cities, literally. There's trash thrown all over the place. I mean, it is disgusting. Now, sure, you think of, Miami and West Palm. There's some rich people that live near the coastline, but the majority of those cities aren't like that. And if you're not in, like, the touristy areas, and you go down, like, these side streets and stuff, they look disgusting. They got, like, coffee cups and bags jammed into the rusted fences. It looks disgusting. Okay? That's not helpful to the environment. You can even go into smaller towns and you might see plastic bags and trash on the side of the road. That is disgusting. It is unsanitary. So as a conservative, as a conservationist, we need to think about the human environment as well. That is why, if I was governor, I would propose that we would make littering a misdemeanor offense. And since I propose making it legal for Florida citizens to arrest people at the misdemeanor level to help law enforcement, this is how we significantly clean up the environment for future generations. I am disgusted by smokers who throw their cigarettes all across the beach. It's disgusting. I hate swimming in the ocean and finding Publix bags and Winn-Dixie plastic bags and other types of junk just in the water. That is disgusting. And because of all this trash, it's polluting the water, okay? Making it even harder for cities to have clean water. The water treatment plants are getting some of these materials from this garbage, and they're pumping out literally heavy metals that literally pollute the soil now. So it's just pollutants on pollutants. And it starts with making sure that people don't throw their trash all over the place by making it illegal to litter. Not just a $10 or $100 or $200 fine. Okay, these people need to go to jail for littering. They need to keep their environment clean. And the only way that you save the humans and all of the animals is if you make the humans responsible for their actions. That's why we need to do this. So here's Florida. Right up here is Cape Canaveral. And right down here near Miami is the Bay of Biscayne. And what's interesting about this particular area is most of the coral reefs are no longer there. It's actually a very unusual ecosystem, mostly of worm reef. The worm reef goes as far down as 6,000 feet deep off the coast of this section of Florida. Now, what's interesting is to the north, you have coral reefs, and to the south, and also in the Bahamas, you have coral reefs, but over here on this side, you have a worm reef. Now, what's the difference between a worm reef and a coral reef? Well, a worm reef, yeah, you might still see some coral here, but most of the coral here is either dead or it's been consumed by what they call polychaete worms, and also they're called sepungolids. Okay, and these types of worms pretty much dominate this general area. And the reason that there's so many worms here is that there was an imbalance in the food chain or the natural reef system to where the worms were able to overproduce over the corals. I am not sure exactly why that is, but that's how it is. And the other interesting thing is that this type of worm reef, where the worms are significantly dominant over the corals, this is the only place in the Atlantic Ocean where this type of ecosystem is, and it's only here in the state of Florida. Very unusual. Okay. Now, what's also very unusual is the amount of trash that gets pretty much from here down Miami all the way up through up by Cocoa Beach and where they launched the rocket ship. But there's something you need to know. Okay? People aren't just throwing their trash all into the ocean. Now, some people are, and they're pencil necks, and that's why I believe on a political standpoint that these people should be arrested for that. But what's interesting is the currents. It actually makes like a almost like a whirlpool effect, but they're not whirlpools. They're too big to be whirlpools, but it makes like a whirlpool effect. So you're gonna have a hot current that moves north, okay, past Florida. However, you're also going to have a current that comes south closer to the shoreline near where these barrier islands are, okay?
and it makes kind of like a whirlpool effect, and it draws in a lot of whatever it is, right? Trash, pieces of nets from boats and things. And here's something I want to show you the bigger picture, okay? So the currents literally come right past here, okay? You have a current that comes into the Gulf of Mexico. You got some currents here as well, okay? And these currents literally suck stuff into the Gulf of Mexico current, which goes all the way around, okay? And a lot of trash here from Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama gets all sucked, and also the west coast of Florida. And it all gets sucked down, and then it comes around the tip of Florida, and then it gets stuck over here because of the strange whirlpool effect. Okay, that's just how the geology is. So you'll find trash that might not even be from the United States of America, and it'll wash up right over here where this worm reef is. Now, I'm not saying that the worm reef exists because of all the trash and stuff, because I don't think that's the reason why the worm reef's here. Okay? But you do start to see all this trash wash up coming from the Caribbean and Mexico and Central America, and it's ending up here, okay, on these beaches. Okay, that's a problem. So if we can get the whole state of Florida to get on board with my plan to arrest people for littering, okay, you're going to reduce the trash that ends up here. And if I was governor, and if I could get not just my state, but also states like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas, and if I could get all these governors together for the same cause and get all these states to change their laws so then people don't litter and all this trash doesn't go into the rivers and stuff and the lakes and also on the seashore, so it comes up and pollutes our beaches, which is completely unfair, at least we could get a large portion of the trash reduced from the increase, okay? Most of the trash that's already here is going to stay here, and there's almost no way to clean it up. So if we could get these states all together to do that, okay, it's going to slow down and reduce the amount of trash into the ocean, ruining the beaches, ruining people's day at the beach. Okay, in reality, I don't think stopping the trash from the Caribbean or Mexico is realistic, obviously, because they're not in our country, but I do see where we could reduce it with the Gulf states. I think that's very important.
Thank you for watching this video. I am Anthony Giarrusso. Have a great day.